All hail the King of Northumberland.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review with me and Alex. I don't know where Billy's got off to, but he'll be with us shortly, I would imagine. He's probably just having a few problems with his connection. Bit of a different show, this. We decided to do a transfer show today, which involves just general chit-chat, see what you guys think, and have conversations with you guys, as well as watching the under-20 match between Mexico and France, because, well, Ekiteke's playing, and also is Santiago Munoz. So, very interesting game. So I've got that on at the minute. Alex has got it on, and Billy's joining us right now. Good evening, Bill Meister.
Evening.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Just got back from work, and I've got a shopping delivery coming within the next hour and a half. So
don't worry, matey. If you need to pop off for that, that's fine. You managed to get the game on?
Yes, I can see the game.
Brilliant. Well, both of them are playing. So Ekiteke is playing for France, and Munoz is playing for Mexico. Just about to kick off. Santos says hi, all. Is it live somewhere officially? Well, I've got it through my source, but I don't know about anybody else. I mean, where have you got it, Billy?
I'm on IPT. On Bein Sport 1, it is.
Yeah, Bein Sports is where you'll be able to watch it if you've got IPTV. But if you haven't, then we'll keep you up to date with the game, because it's just going through the boring stuff of international football before they actually get kicked off.
I'm ahead of you. I'm 25 seconds in.
Really?
Yeah, mine's just about to kick off as well. We've got different things.
Well, that's bound to happen when it's on a stream, but
it's very windy as well. Very windy in this match, it seems. Japanese officials as well. We'll see how that goes.
Japanese lady?
Yeah.
Interesting. Good evening, Ian. Hi, Ian is short woman. Yet there'll be an announcement on Ian's channel at 9 o'clock tonight, so we'll be on there. I'll be on there with Jade and the guys, so should be good. Good evening, Carl. Hit Marcus here. Jade's in the house. Good evening. Howdy, guys. Nice one, because I was planning to watch the game. Perfect timing. Evening, Tom. It's on Bein Sports, mate. So if you haven't got access to IPTV, I'm not sure where else you can watch it, unless you find a stream somewhere. But as I say, we're all at different parts of the game. But I think I'm behind everybody else. So if you guys can wait for me to react, and then we can all talk about it together if something happens, that'll be the best way of doing it, I guess, because you'll have seen it before me by a few seconds. Billy, behave yourself.
Sorry. You'll see it in a minute yourself.
I'm only a minute in, but it seems like France have got all the ball. Ekiteke's already made a left channel
I'm about 10 seconds behind you, Alex. So Ekiteke is number 9, isn't he?
Yeah, number 9 versus number 9 today.
It is. It's a very strange looking number 9 on the back of Munoz, though, I have to say. It looks more like a number bloody 7. It's terrible. Jimmy, thanks for your £4.49 super chat. Thank you so much. Afternoon, all. We were linked with our 81st signing of the window today. Media, eh? Yeah. West Ham are having it just as bad as Newcastle by the sounds of things. Good afternoon, Paul. Afternoon, Gary.
I just saw what Billy laughed at, I think.
Yeah, I haven't yet.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
That's like National League stuff, that is. That's
awful. It's over the bar. That was a terrible back pass. My God.
Not after any French young centre halves.
Wow. That was a disgraceful back pass.
I think that was their right back. I'm not sure.
Well, how hasn't he scored? I mean, that is realistically a simple chip over the keeper, but never mind. It should be 1-0 to Mexico already, but it ain't. John Joe says, get it started. Then we're here, man. We're here. Chill out. Chill out. And there it goes again, skipping. Bloody StreamYard. Ian Toon Trader says there's an announcement on our NE1 TV channel tonight at 9 p.m. about the shop, and it's good news. Paul guesting with Jade, me and Ricky for our first live NUF show. If you fancy jumping on, get on there at 9 o'clock, guys. It'll be a good laugh, if anything else. My dog's... Elsie! Stupid dog. Paul Sales, good afternoon. Paul Gallant's in the house. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my dog. She's barking at nothing. Good afternoon, V. What channel is it on? It's beIN Sports. Billy Trey, nice to see you, mate. Rocker here.
Hi, Rocker. How you doing, buddy? There's a friend of mine for a long time.
Yeah. Is this on a UK channel? No, I don't think it is. I expect you guys to know what channel the game is on here in Canada.
I mean, if people have legally got access to South American stuff, it is on a few places. Because I mean, I said this to Jade earlier. Argentina will stream if it's got a ball in it. Argentina will stream it. I think I said like 4 babies and an egg kicking it. They'd stream that. Literally,
oh dear.
Billy,
something's gonna happen.
Well, thanks very much. What happened to wait till I've seen it?
Well, I got a free kick on the right wing.
I'm way behind you guys, so like, well, not way behind, but apparently one of the commentators just said, the French commentators mentioned Newcastle United. Interesting. I think he will be speaking to us as soon as the tournament's finished, to be honest.
Oh, no.
I'm seeing a free kick to Mexico here. Comes into the box.
No.
Cleared away. Oh, dear, that's a mistake.
Find it, guys. Summer's over.
Wow. Go on, son. Oh, no! Ekiteke's done his hamstring, guys. Oh, couldn't you bloody believe it? He's pulled up. That's a hammer. That's gone. He went to sprint past the defender and immediately pulled. He's heavily strapped, to be honest. On his right leg. That is a pulled hamstring. There is no doubt about it. Ekiteke has pulled a hamstring.
He's tried to do a Gareth Bale on the left wing where he's knocked it and ran around the touchline. He's tried to accelerate too much and he's pulled his right hamstring. It looks like he doesn't. I don't know. Oh dear. We'll have a look. It doesn't look good though.
Hell's teeth. He's getting a bit of treatment at the minute, but that's that. He's not coming back on after that. No way. You don't. Not when you pull the hamstring like that. You pull up immediately.
It was like upper as well near the glute. That doesn't look.
Yeah.
And
it did look as if I was looking forward to him going down the wing there. You know, seeing how exactly what pace he's got about him, and then he immediately pulls up.
He was still quicker than Wood when he was limping, mind.
Yeah, he was. To be fair, yeah.
He does have a lot of tape on that right leg anyway.
He does, yeah.
So maybe it was a pre-existing issue.
Oh, not another one. Steve Bruce in the paper today said he got Paul started on his YouTube channel. Did he really? Interesting comment from Stevie Bruce. No, he's gone. He's away down the tunnel.
Oh, no.
Well, the Ekiteke versus Munoz lasted all of 5 minutes, guys. So
Hugh gone.
Hugh gone. Absolutely. So we'll have to just watch Munoz now and hope he bags a hat-trick.
Well, I mean, we're breaking it here first, aren't we? This is the time when we can break it. We just watched it live. He's injured, guys. He's officially
injured. We're in the know. Yeah, he's injured.
God Almighty! Honestly, Jesus Christ.
At least we get to watch Munoz. It's glad we didn't watch it for just one player. At least we get.
I've got a question here. Why is Mexico wearing dark blue?
It is a bit weird, isn't it? Because you'd have thought they could wear their greeny stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't clash. Maybe it's for the purpose of showing off an alternate kit because it's probably the same as the senior team. I don't know. It might be something in it. And this is their under 21s as well. So this is France under 20s apparently versus the Mexico under 21s. There's a mixture of ages in this competition. So Mexico lost to, was it Paraguay? No.
Yeah,
Paraguay. But it was it was the under 23s. They've got an array of age groups in this
Yeah,
competition.
it's a very strange tournament, actually, the way the ages kind of worked out.
Anyway, I'm not talking out of school here, but the French sub has come on now.
Yeah, number 7 has come on for Prophecy Ekiteke. No names on the back.
Unbelievable.
Right,
Honestly, you couldn't write it, could you? Like Newcastle United, massive signing. And he's how's he going to pass a bloody medical if he's got to play? You know what I mean? Pulled his hamstring.
Oh, we've looked at this kid before. The guy who's coming on for him is Nathanael Mbuku for Rem as well, who is Ekiteke's clubmate.
Yeah.
20 years old.
Well, keyholes peeled.
Expected as much from Ekiteke, says Foxy. I have the game on my phone, lads. Well, how long does the hamstring take to heal? Well, it depends how bad the injury is, to be honest. If it's a tear, then quite a while. But it didn't look like a tear to me. He just felt it pull, and he pulled up immediately. But if you tear your hamstring, it's agony, and he didn't.
Yeah, he pulled up and then he walked off, didn't he? He walked off pretty competently, just touching it a bit. Like he wasn't on the floor screaming. He didn't have any medical staff on the pitch. So hopefully that's.
But for me, he's already had a problem there due to the amount. Oh, that's a terrible tackle. Dear God. That is a typical Mexican challenge, that, isn't it? My God.
Argentina were doing the same last week as well. It was so bad.
That's horrible. I don't think he's even been booked for that either. I mean, that was just awful. He was nowhere near the ball.
In the 6-2 game that France won, one of the Argentinian lads literally studs up, tackled through someone's shins and didn't even get a booking for it. It was atrocious.
That's outrageous. Jade says 5 minutes into my scouting mission and he's pulled up. It looked bad. Yeah, I mean, Gary says he's had strapping on for months. Well, you know, I know he's had strapping on because I've seen him play for him, but you know what it is? That is just not good. That, you know, we're getting excited about a player signing. The transfer window opens literally tomorrow morning, and boom, one of our, you know, major players that we're linked with has limped off with a hammy. You couldn't write a script, man. It's always Newcastle United, isn't it? That's some awful defending, by the way.
I'll be honest with you, I can hear the laughing from Villa Park from here.
Yeah, I know. Bastards. Mark says, would you still buy him?
It's only a hamstring, isn't it?
Well, tell that to Callum Wilson, mate. I mean, you know, only a hamstring.
Yeah, but his was calf, wasn't it? His calf
Michael Owen suffered with hamstrings, didn't he?
Yeah, but Michael Owen pulled his hamstring sneezing. Like that's a bit different.
Okay.
He was very injury prone.
John Joe says that's good. If he's done his hamstring, he will definitely be coming to us now. Well, Ekiteke, it was good while it lasted. Rossi and Barini available. Carrie says there goes the medical. James says too skinny. The lad needs to get stronger. He's no athlete. He's 19, man.
I don't think skinny has anything to do with pulling a hamstring.
No.
I've pulled my hamstring a few times. Absolutely, it's nothing to do with skinny.
Yeah, it's not to do with football either, Billy. Tweeting this now at In The Know.
Good luck.
I've tweeted it out, so you know I'm probably one of the first. Foxy says so. That was Ekiteke out for 10 games in League with hamstring issues, and now again, 36 to 40 million pound question mark, says Foxy. Does he have a hamstring issue, guys?
If it was that much of a concern, he shouldn't have played. I didn't know he'd had tape on, personally. That's the first time I've noticed. I haven't noticed it in previous watches.
Get ready for 12 minutes spot, lads.
Okay. The weather's nice, though, isn't it? It looks quite pleasant over there in Toulon. I don't like where they're playing, though. Some kind of weird complex.
They always play there.
Yeah, I think it's a stadium just outside Marseille. It's halfway between Toulon and Marseille. It's kind of that neck of the woods.
Well, my TV provider giving me this match was calling it the Toulon tournament still, so I'm going with them. It's easier to say.
Very nice.
Well, I'm coming up to 12 minutes now, so let's just have a look. Oh, nice ball. Oh, lovely skill. Oh, good save. 1-0 France. Wow. That was good play by the French number 10 there, wasn't it? He looked a bit silky with his hips there.
Yeah, Seko Mara from Bordeaux played Ligue 1 minutes this season. Unfortunately, Bordeaux got relegated, but he's really good. He's really good talent.
Couldn't miss the tap in, to be honest. Ryan says can take anywhere from 4 weeks to 3 months, depending if it's pulled or torn. Yeah, I think it's pulled more than anything else. Luke says, does that mean the Hugo deal is off? What happens with that, guys? Because obviously, if he goes for a medical, he's got a pulled hamstring, and he's been out with a hamstring injury earlier this season. Is that something that the people do in the medical will pay particularly attention to, or will Newcastle ask them to pay attention to see if it's a risk?
I have no idea. I've got to be honest. I've got no idea. But I'd imagine the hamstrings, it's a run-of-the-mill football injury. I mean, I think they're checking for things like limbs missing and stuff like that, aren't they? And
yeah.
Well, I'm sure they noticed a limb missing, Billy, if he walked in.
Cartilage and things like that, isn't it?
Can you imagine he walked in, a player walks into a medical, hobbling along, and then suddenly just sits on the table and takes the bottom half of his right leg off? Where can I put my leg over there while I do the medical?
That reminds me of a story. This is funny. You'll love this. We were playing just to mess around on a Wednesday night at my old school, actually, on the weather pitch. And this lad who played for our team, he was crap, but he loved playing. And at the end of the game, he says, I had a really good game tonight. He says, that left winger only got past me once. Well, the other team came in, the left winger came in, took his shorts off, and he had a fucking false leg, didn't he?
Oh, my God. Dear me. Oh, God almighty. Hey, credit to him for playing with a false leg as well, though.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
That's quite a brave thing to do, especially in grassroots football. Jeez. Abs' inspired idea to watch along the transfer targets. Shame the target has left the field early. Yeah, we've still got one on there, Munoz.
Do we know what the situation is with Munoz? Because I had a brief look and I didn't dig much, but obviously we got him on loan from Santos from Mexico with an obligation or an option to buy. Like, do we keep him indefinitely, or is it something?
I haven't heard anything, mate, to be honest.
It's a long loan, though, isn't it? It's a 2-year loan, isn't it?
It's a 2-year loan, yeah. So I think he's here next season, definitely. So hopefully we'll get to see him a bit more.
Of developing him, and then if we fancy it, we'll pay.
I mean, if we took, then again, it was the previous regime that took him, wasn't it? So, because everybody was thinking that was Mike Ashley's final insult to the fans, just because but from what I've seen of him, he looks a half decent player.
I mean, we're 60 minutes in, and I don't think he's touched the ball yet, to be honest.
No, he hasn't.
He's not really that kind of striker, though. I mean, for the under-23s, or the Premier League 2, whatever we're calling it, he's only scored once in his 5 appearances, and he's very much when he touches the ball, he tries to only touch it a couple of times, get it in the net, do something productive with it. So he's not involved as much in build-up. He's a lot more of a finisher. Well, I say that with his 1 goal, but.
Yeah. Carl says, I think Newcastle official TV have changed its name to Newcastle TV and changed its voice to a bloke, but he's still talking shite. Yeah, I pay no attention to him. He's lost. To be honest, it doesn't matter whether it's a bloke or an iPhone talking. It's just an absolute bollocks. Just crap. Copies people's thumbnails, etc. Ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Hadaway, man, there's knee way Suarez is signing for the Toon. I haven't seen Suarez linked. That's just fan talk, that. Larry says a week or 2 to heal from a hamstring pull. If it's a tear, that's a whole different story. It's not a tear. Not the way he went off.
I mean, I've got a fun fact about that from my previous job. That technically there's no such thing as a pull. It doesn't exist. A pull is a tear. It's just different severities of tearing. There is a tiny, teeny, tiny tear, or a really, really serious tear. So a pull technically isn't anything. It's not a rubber band. It doesn't pull it and then.
It feels like one when it snaps, mate. Twice it happened to me in the ice hockey, and I tell you what, oosh, it is. Yeah,
when I pull a hamstring in squash, and it's over lunging. It's not nice.
No, it's not. Football Matters says Newcastle should move on to another player. Isak is available. we've looked at Isak, haven't we? And I'm not impressed with Isak. He had a
Sociedad.
bad second half of the season. He wasn't too good at all.
Better second half than sort of Jonathan David and stuff. It was all in that cluster of forwards we were looking at, and he was better. He's still very, very good. Playing in a more competitive league. I don't know. Ligue 1's very strong. I've said that multiple times. For a long time. Ligue 1 gets
I watch a lot of
from
French
people.
football. I quite like it. I think it's
they're not bad.
no.
There's a lot of changes in the last 3 to 5 years. It's faster. It's more technical. They're very strong players.
Ooh.
A lot of these big midfielders we've been linked with, they're all in France, and they're all absolute units, all very technical. It's not a bad league in the top 10. There's some good players.
18 minutes and 40.
Well, I'm 40 seconds away. YT says, let's activate Nunez's £125 million get out clause. Fab tweeted about Botman. I haven't seen it. Ken says, I think I'm a minute or so ahead of you. And as soon as he pulled up, I thought, oh, shit, what's the guy's going to say about this? Well, it's just typical, isn't it? Typical. Paul asks Stato about Embolo. Is Embolo the Swiss player? The Swiss striker?
The Mönchengladbach striker. Yeah, he played against us for England, didn't he? The other day. Well, a while back. The Swiss kid.
2-0 France.
It was a lovely goal. Filthy finish.
It was indeed. Absolutely. From the skipper. Lovely finish into the bottom corner. They're all over Mexico. Like, Mexico looked terrible here.
This could end up any score, couldn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, they were over pressing after they went behind, and France are just nailing them on the counter with very technical, precise counters. They just look better. It looks men against boys again, the same as what I watched against Argentina.
Absolutely lovely goal though. Beautiful finish on the edge of the box. Just calmly, just right foot into the bottom corner. No problem at all.
To be aware of that from a young lad as well.
Beautiful. France are cruising here. Cruising. Toon Army present in Peru. Good stuff. If it was very serious, he wouldn't be able to walk. Got to take the positives from a bad situation. I'm sure Newcastle have a backup. Look, just because he's gone off with an injury to his hamstring, it doesn't mean we're going to pull out of the deal, if indeed the deal is going to go ahead. Let's not jump the gun or anything here, because he still hasn't spoken to Newcastle United yet. His representatives probably have, but he hasn't. He's been away with France. So he'll want to meet officials, definitely. Hopefully it's not too serious and we'll get a discount bringing Hugo in. Ivan Toney to Newcastle. It's not even being mentioned by any of the media, that. No way. Not for me. Not for me. John Joe says, no warm-up before the game. He should have had a new room massage beforehand. Oh, dear God. The weather? Jesus, Paul. Yeah, it's looking rather nice. Fabrizio just released a tweet about Botman. So did Pete Graves. Have you seen it, lads?
No.
No. I haven't got multiple screens. I've got one I've got two screens on here. One's the...
I'll bring up Mr. Romano.
Has Ekiteke had previous injuries apart from the last one he had? I'm not sure. I know he missed some of last season because of it. Mexico.
It's not new reports. Right? He's just tweeted, Newcastle are pushing to sign Sven Botman as soon as possible. Talks entering into key stages with Lille, AC Milan still in the race, but NUFC are now advancing. Negotiations with Newcastle started last January. Yeah, it's
what we already know, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, he's basically just putting his own tweet on what Sky Italy have already said. Essentially, I wouldn't say that's new information. Unless it says pushing to sign, talks entering into key stages. I mean,
yeah,
the bid's already been submitted.
And Pete Graves has just put the eye emoji. That's what he's done.
Okay.
Yeah. So it could happen, but
Well, we had another journalist today, Graham Bailey from 90-Minute Football and Anfield Watch, surprisingly, tweeted about PSG have made an inquiry as well. And then Milan are described as still battling, which was the verb used, whatever
But
that
Milan
means.
have already admitted that they
Um,
can't afford what Newcastle have offered. So
at the final line, he did write, "Other Premier League sides now looking too," which is interesting. But again, it's just a journalist, so.
But it's like we said on last night's show, Newcastle is a very big opportunity, if you like, this time, isn't it? Because of where we're heading. It's not like, Newcastle are interested, but so are, let's say, for instance, Manchester United or an Arsenal. We can compete with them now. And that's the difference. And that's what we're looking at. Michael says we don't have a lot to go on for his injury record, but never good to see a young guy go down early in his career. They'll need to be through that in medical. Yeah, I agree with that. It's never good.
I think he felt a twinge. I think he just only felt a twinge and he's gone off before it snaps, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he's not been playing 90 minutes. I didn't think it was because of injury, but he has been going off. He's been playing 45s or he's been coming off after an hour. He's not been playing 90 minutes. And I didn't think it was connected to that. I thought it was just more because the game was dead, because they were already winning by so much in certain games. But maybe it is injury related.
Well, Jason says there, I don't care if he's 19 or not. He's very lightweight, and pulling hamstrings at his age is not a good sign. Very risky, in my opinion.
He's still growing, isn't he? Let's be honest. You can't, a 19-year-old. I mean, Henry had similar sort of issues when he was 18, 19, didn't he? So I wouldn't read too much into it just yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is he lightweight?
I think it's just because he's quite tall, isn't he?
6'2", 168 pounds. So 170 pounds. He's possibly more than that now, I'd imagine. And he's about to turn... Oh, it's his birthday in a couple of days, apparently. About to turn 20. 170, that's not that light. That's reasonable. Especially, he'll probably add another stone on that throughout his career.
He's, like I say, he's very tall, but he's
not gangly, though, is he? He's not gangly.
He's not, definitely not gangly. He looks like he's got a... like I say, when he went to take that defender on there, he looked like he had the beating of him completely with his pace, but then he just sort of, unfortunately, pulled up, didn't he? This match is one-way traffic. It really is. France are just dominating this game. Munoz has just been brought down and is rolling around the floor now, injured. But then gets... Hey, I'll tell you something. They must go through some hair gel in that Mexican dressing room, by the way. I don't know whether you guys have noticed, but the sun is literally gleaming off the heads of the Mexicans. Now, normally that only happens to bald people, but, I mean, they've all got slick back hair, haven't they? Apart from the man bun that the goalkeeper's got.
The Brill Cream boys, aren't they?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a hairdryer in that changing room. They wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh, without a doubt.
The French number 6 looks very good, I've got to say. The guy that scored the second goal looks excellent.
Yeah, he does. He's the skipper, isn't he? Mm-hmm. Looks very, very accomplished player, shall we say, at such a young age.
Lucien Ogoume plays for Stade de Brestois people. Oh, I think he was on loan from Milan. Was he actually on loan from Milan? He was. He is.
Actually, I've just watched Munoz turn him inside out there. Absolutely. Got a free kick. But Mexico can't hang on to the ball. Yeah, they're all over the shop. Oh, God. I mean, there's a blatant push if I've ever seen one. The Mexican defenders are awful, guys. I mean, the French player's running away and he just pushes him in the back. Troll says, if we now sign Tony, I will be furious because he's not a prolific goal scorer in any way. We need goals and Wilson will be injured. There's no doubt in my opinion. Sean, good afternoon to you. Newcastle would not be buying Ekiteke to walk straight into the team anyway. He's one for the future. I heard from an inside source, Newcastle speaking with representatives of... I have no idea who that is. Plays for Randers. No idea. Good evening, chaps, and the mods. Ekiteke might be doing a mic alone. Press the like button, guys. Heard Ekiteke faked his injury and now on the plane to meet War Mandy. Well, bloody hell, he's got the airport quick. They must have had a helicopter waiting in the car park for him. Jesus. Abscess Thierry Henry had loads of hamstring issues when he first at Arsenal. He never amounted to much, did he? Absolutely not, no. I do recall him having injury problems.
Tosin Kahinde, Lagos, Nigeria, was at Manchester United Academy, plays in the Danish Superliga for Randers.
Randers.
I'll have a look and see if he's actually. I mean, he's 24, so.
Romano says talks with Botman entering key stages. Pull is a descriptor of direction. No such thing as pull force, only applied pressure, says Living Man. Afternoon, Paul, Alex, and Billy, and all in the chat. Just tuned in. Hope everyone is well and enjoying the sun today. Let's hear what War Hugo can do. Yep. War Hugo, because War Possible Ekiteke is no longer on the pitch.
You can keep the physios busy. That's one good thing.
Yeah. It seems that way. It seems that way. This is just.
We brought in a new physio recently, didn't we? So it's going to be busy.
Well, I have a feeling he will if we're going to bring these players in. Uguami is impressive. See him score him.
Yeah, that's the sixth.
Fabrizio. Embolo is good for Switzerland, but average at Gladbach. I've never been that thrilled with Embolo, to be honest. I've seen him play a few times. I've seen him play for Switzerland as well, and haven't been all that impressed, to be honest.
I mean, they had an underwhelming season. Didn't they finish like 10th or something? I'm pretty sure.
Something like that, yeah.
Didn't they get rid of Adi Hutter? I think they took their manager as well.
He's pretty much always in the Switzerland side, though, isn't he?
Yeah, and then Ginter, the free transfer who we looked at, has left them and gone to Freiburg, which is a weird sidestep. Gladbach to Freiburg, it's an odd move.
Do you have any players on your little list, Alex? This is
I do. I can't screen share because I just don't want to accidentally show match footage and copyright. But we do have a big name that cropped up today, a very big name. We've completed the full set of Roma attackers. So the final piece of the puzzle, we've been linked with Lorenzo Pellegrini. So now we've been linked with the whole lot: Veretout, Zaniolo, Tammy Abraham, and now Pellegrini. So that's the full set. It
was only a matter of time, wasn't it? To be honest.
And he is everything. We talk about Zaniolo being a talent. This guy is the talent. Ready-made attacking midfielder. 8 goals with his right foot, 1 goal with his left foot. Scores free kicks, 3 from outside the box. All 3 were free kicks. He scored a couple of penalties as well. Scores inside the box. He averages 3.3 shots per game in Serie A alone, not from striker position. And Mourinho's got a very weird rotation of his. I'm not really sure where he's meant to be playing, because sometimes he's up next to Tammy Abraham, sometimes he's back as a 10. It's basically Mourinho sets up a wing-back defensive block, and then just people float around Tammy Abraham. Generally, it's interesting.
31 minutes, lads.
He is next level. Let me bring it up on my screen so I can have a look. Where have you gone, Mr. Pellegrini? So, nearly 2,300 minutes in Serie A this season. 9 goals.
3-0. Wow.
Great goal, didn't it?
It was a very good goal.
Bloody hell. Well, we're not seeing much of Munoz here at all. So we may as well talk a little bit about transfers anyway.
On the half turn as well. That was a lovely goal.
Finish.
That's good centre forward play, that is.
Absolutely. Brilliant goal. Paul, don't forget, if we get Botman, John Sinclair owes the food bank £100. Yes, he does. Because he did say it live on his show that if Botman signed for us, he was that confident of them going to Milan, he would donate £100 to the food bank. So, the Toon Review team, I would request to do a few more shows in this timing so that a few more fans from the East can join.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, but, we will do a few more early shows, even if we sort of break the transfer show up into 2 different shows. We'll certainly work something out, but it's difficult for us all to get on at this time anyway, but with kids and jobs and all sorts of stuff going on. Any news on Maxi staying? Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's staying. I haven't heard anything to the contrary that he's leaving. Ian says, am I okay posting the link for our 9 p.m. show that Paul's on tonight? Yes, you are, mate. No problem. I've seen a post saying Manure is going for Botman. Yeah, you said that before.
Apparently everybody's going for him now. Everybody's trying to.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. But listen, I mean, you've got to take into account, right, that obviously he's a very, well, he's a big name now, and lots of teams are trying to improve their centre backs. I mean, Manchester United, you look at that, you think, well, Man United, who've they got? You know, you're talking about bloody Harry Maguire. They're going to want to upgrade.
Yeah. Well, they've been linked with Timber as the primary one, but obviously, you know, Ten Hag's Dutch, Botman's Dutch. He's a technical player, left-footed centre-back. It's not surprising. The only reason I think they would be linked with Botman, though, is if they can't get Timber, because they've got their own players that they've identified. So,
Ekiteke was out for 68 days during the 21-22 season with a hamstring injury.
Well, I've got to cut out 10 minutes, lads. I'm on shopping to you.
Yeah, no problem, Eddie. Billy's off to get his shopping. I'll tell you something. These Mexicans are horrible tacklers of the football. They cannot tackle for any amount of money.
No. Well, they're getting a bit concerned now because they're 3-0 down after 34 minutes. They're a bit
Munoz is getting in a bit of of handbags there.
The referee there. But they are very, very physical as well. The French, when they go in about their pressing and stuff, they're very strong. But the Mexicans, to be fair, they've done that. France have done this against a lot of teams. The South American teams don't particularly like it. A few of them are reactive, put in slightly naughty tackles. It has been frustrating them.
Well, South American teams are noted for that, aren't they? But you know, you look at some of them down the years, like Paraguay and Uruguay as well.
I think it's an age thing as well, because normally at club level and international level, generally you get a mixture of ages, and they're able to, the older lads can calm the younger lads and stop them doing things like that. But you've got 11 lads who are all the same age, who are all don't want to get smashed 6-0. And their egos get hurt, and they put in strong tackles, and there's nobody to calm them down. There's no captain, there's no leader. But France look like they've got them. But they're miles ahead. You can see that they've got people who have played 5, 10, 20 times this season in Ligue 1.
Oh,
in men's
look
football.
at that turn! Wow,
and it shows. It really shows. They've got some cracking talent.
Munoz forgot to take the ball with him. Looked a bit like Joe Linton there. Joe Linton was up front. Are we still linked to Diaby from Bayern?
It's gone quiet. There's nothing to say we're not still in, but
it's quiet today. But that's not to say that it won't be quiet tomorrow, because it all could kick off again. You just never know. That's the beauty of the transfer window. But look what we said yesterday with Matt Targett. Nothing was said about Matt Targett. Everybody was thinking he's not signing. And then bang, Newcastle announced he's up for medical. And then bang, he's signed. You just never know. You never know what's around the corner in transfer windows. Like we've seen with our new owners.
France are just a cut above. They really are. Little Rabona cut back. Or a fake Rabona, even. They get a lovely free kick as well. They're playing some tidy football. It's definitely men against boys here. Mexico don't know. This is
a semi-final, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It went straight from the group stages straight into a semi-final.
Yeah. Hit the bar there. Just clipped the bar and went over from that free kick. I don't know what the goalkeeper was doing. No, the goalkeeper touched it over. How's that a goal kick? Dear me. Looks like a set of Russian dolls watching a match. Who? Ekiteke was out for 10 weeks with a hamstring in February. Won't sell and too expensive. How the hell are you watching the game? It's beIN Sports, mate. If you can get beIN Sports, you'll be able to watch the game. But to be honest, I mean, France are just dominating. And Mexico are going to start getting very angry shortly, very angry. Larry says, hey, Stato, what's your opinion on Christopher Ayer? He was linked with us before the takeover and his move to Brentford. Curious if you think he's good enough for us.
I mean, he's not set the world alight, has he, this season? He was nailed on to be very, very, very good.
I wasn't impressed with him when I saw him. When I've seen him play a few times in live matches, and I haven't been that impressed.
Yeah, I think, no disrespect to him, but I think we're going to be aiming higher than that now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily better right now, but we are looking to turn over the squad with age and younger talent. Because every centre-back typically that we're linked with is somewhere between 19 and 23, apart from the exceptions of like Ake and stuff. So it's not necessarily about that. It's we're just choosing a different path. He's a good player. I think he'd probably be fine for us, but I don't think it's a road we're going to go down. That sort of transfer, unless, as we've talked about in previous shows, if the wheels fall off the plan and we can't get hold of younger centre-backs, I'm not sure we've got enough to wait till next year. I think we've just got. It's a shame. We'll probably have to panic sign someone because we've not got enough depth to achieve the goals this season with just Burn and Cher, and possibly Lascelles. Like, there's not enough depth. If a couple of centre back injuries and we're back to Championship standard centre backs.
Yeah, which is why we were talking about sort of, when we have to make sure that all of the subs available during the match now are going to be as good of quality as what comes off. So that's what they'll be looking at. XFC Florida, thank you for your $5 super chat. He says, shows why Pulisic often returns injured from international duty. Typical play for Mexico and other Central American teams as well. Yeah, the tackling is pretty bad. Jade says, Ivan Toney kissed the badge in front of the Gallagher. Short memories, peeps. He has zero respect for his own club or anyone else. He isn't even that good. Can we not go there? I agree 100% with that. I don't see what the fascination is with Ivan Toney. He scored a few goals last season, but,
he's got 7 non-penalty goals. I mean, it's nothing Wilson couldn't do if he had the minutes.
Absolutely.
Wilson played like 1,000, maybe 1,500 fewer minutes. No, don't need. I'd prefer to go the route of youth and then Wilson.
Yeah. Pedro says that we're looking at 51 million for Roma's Lorenzo Pellegrini. Pellegrini, or whatever his name is, but that's a lot of cash.
Are we? That's 60 million euros. I thought that was the suggested Paqueta price. I mean, unless it's the same, it's very possible. Because L'Equipe have reported today that Paqueta will 100% leave Lyon this summer. Yeah. So they've not said where or for what or how, but there are a lot of reports coming out of France that he is 100% gone. Where he's going to go, no idea, but interesting.
Eric says Ekiteke pulls his hammy. Newcastle get to the final stages of the Botman deal, and PSG come in and say, "No, pal, not today. I love this club." Yeah, I mean, look. We said after the takeover, even before any transfer windows happened, that we were now going to be sitting at that big table with some very, very big football clubs when it comes to transfers. And you can see that now. It's already taken place before the windows even opened. We are competing alongside PSG, Man United, AC Milan, those kind of teams. This is who we're up against now. It's not, we are shopping in the top table. And it's up to Dan Ashworth, Eddie Howe, and whoever else is selling this football club to make sure that these players want to come in and want to play for us. That's where their money is going to be earned. Certainly, Dan Ashworth's is. But we've got to sell it. Pellegrini would be an amazing signing. I can't see it though. Our name will be used by agents left, right, and centre for players wanting a bumper pay rise. Maggot says Zapata for me. Spencer, I'd rather we bring in Tammy Abraham over Darwin Núñez if they're valued similarly. Tammy Abraham, there's a shout. I mean, he hasn't been linked with us, but he's done well for Roma, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had an exceptional season. It's probably his best season as a senior player, to be fair. He's been the main focal point. He's been given a full season as the star. His XG is a little bit squiffy, but he scored a lot of goals. He's done very well. But the system is very geared to him. Very, very geared to him. It's get the ball to Tammy always. Whether it's the wing backs or whether it's Zaniolo, Pellegrini, Veretout, or whoever's sort of playing in offensive shapes.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. I mean, arguably he'd score the same, if not more, than Wilson, and probably be injured less, in theory.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say no. Absolutely not. I think he's an incredible player. Age-wise as well,
he's probably valued about the same as Nunes.
What Abraham is.
Sorry, not Nunes. What's his face? Oh, it doesn't matter now.
Ekiteke.
No, I can't remember. It's gone. Wilson, I'm not sure if this is an unpopular opinion, but if we can't get Paqueta, I think we should go for Isco. I think he's a free agent, so we can spend money elsewhere. You'd go for that, wouldn't you, Alex?
Yes, 100%. 100%. I think he's got so much to offer. I think that if I'm speaking honestly, there probably are better choices than Paqueta and possibly even Eriksen, because he's far more familiar with the league. But I just feel like there's so much more unfulfilled potential and talent there. He's got a point to prove. He was one of the best players in the world at a point. I mean, his trophy cabinet speaks for itself. He was a big part of the early days of when Madrid were pushing for La Décima, for the 10th Champions League, and unreal talent. And he's 29, going on 30. He's still got a good amount of years to give, especially if he drops as a deeper midfielder. He could give us 5 years if he's. I really don't see why not. I've not seen him on the list, but I think he got briefly linked by a couple of far sources. But I agree. I would love to see us go in black and white. I think he'd be brilliant. But I know a lot of people are against it. So,
Travel Chasing says, any chat about Barbosa went quiet since January, scored a few good goals, maybe a loan to buy. I have not heard Barbosa's name mentioned once during this build up to the summer window. Not once.
Yeah. Zapata and Barbosa were both. I think Wood was the transfer. That's done. That cluster of strikers was for a reason, and we got Wood, and that was it. And now I think that group of whoever was on the list, there's a reason why we've not been back in for any of them. There's 4 or 5 that we've just not even come up name wise, because they were to try and save us, and that job's been done. So we're moving on in a different direction now.
The difference is Mexico's top youth players will already be in the first team. Just a different pool of players for both nations. Mexico with inexperienced Liga Mexico players. Yeah, France do have some players that have played in senior level. And it's certainly judging by this performance, you can see where the levels have completely dropped, or who's not at the level that they need to be. Mexico are way below France here. There's just no issue.
I mean, the youth academies are doing really well in France in recent years. Stade Rennais and Rennes and stuff. It's not just the top teams. It's not just Monaco and PSG. There are clubs all the way down the pyramid are producing really, really good players. There's a lot of sort of different scouting Twitters and things that are all into that, and they've all been buzzing the last couple of weeks, tweeting about different clubs and systems and players. There's a lot of talent, and this is how these French clubs have survived.
Save. I think the offside flags up.
Offside anyway, yeah.
Stayed big there, the goalkeeper.
Mexico nearly with a counter there. Still 3-0 down though, with like 30 seconds left of the first half.
Some awful tackles going in. My God. Just offside, not far, but a couple of inches offside. It was a good call. I think leaving Everton to sign Tarkowski was the right thing to do. I know Target is a little slow, but Tarkowski is super slow. There were 2 different positions, but the Tarkowski to Everton is a strange one for me, Alex, because I don't get it.
I mean, I do and I don't. They had to play. I mean, Frank Lampard instantly went to a back five, didn't he? They were shipping goals. Yerry Mina was in and out of the team with injury and problems, and they were just trying to keep a clean sheet and try and get points.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Tarkowski is an attempt to go back to a back four, and because Tarkowski's competent in a back four and reliable, maybe that's the thought process. Maybe Mina and Tarkowski. I know they both play right side, but
Absolutely,
it's the money that's it's a weird thing. It's the fact that was it 120 or I think that was
120 grand a week. Yeah,
yeah. That the rumored contract was 5 years at 120,000, which would mean they would have
outrageous.
a 35-year-old Tarkowski on their books on
120 grand a week.
They wouldn't
That
be
is
able to shift him.
insane.
So if they do have further problems with FFP,
But
then
would it
they
surprise? Would it
can't get
surprise
rid
you
of
with
him.
Everton? Would that surprise you with a club like Everton after what they've done? Absolutely not.
Considering everything that's come out today with us being criticised with FFP and spending, and I'm not going to say his name, but people know who I'm talking about. Talking about the fact that we're not allowed, that it's unfair that we're able to certain people are allowed to spend in the way they are, and FFP is there to try and protect clubs. But Everton are just completely ignoring rules and just pushing further and further into the negative, and it's just being. But when were they confirmed as breaking the rules? Beginning of April.
Yeah, it's taken for. There is
Where's
no reason.
Where's the
to drag on.
information? Where's the punishment? Where's the hearing? What's going on? Like, why are they not?
Well, I have a feeling that money is being put in back pockets again. You know what I'm saying? But would that really surprise you? I need to just take a couple of minutes break. Billy, are you okay to take over the chat? If you just want to talk about just some transfer targets or something like that, I'll be back shortly.
Yeah, no problem. What have I missed? Is halftime? Is it halftime in the game, Alex?
Yeah, still 3-0 to France. Very scrappy tackling. Mexico had a nice little direct long ball played over the top. He got on the end of it and it was saved, but it was flagged as just offside. Mexico have gone really, really direct. They keep trying to play switches. They're not really sure what they're doing. I think that they're trying. It's generally quite direct and quite aggressive. And then whenever France get it back, they're just playing a lot more technically and just far more put together. Just pretty little passes, movement, strength. Mexico don't really know what to do. It's just direct. It's just they've just gone non-league. They've just gone route one. Let's just see if we can lump it and see what happens.
Have we had this comment?
Has anything been said about Henderson? As in Dean Henderson? Every day when I open my computer, there seems to be different news regarding Henderson, whether it's from Twitter or whether it's from journalists, newspapers. It's just different. It moves on, moves off. It's a loan. It's not a loan. It's a transfer fee. It's not a transfer fee. I've got no idea. I think there's definitely something in it, and a lot of people seem to think it's they're in talks or whatever. But I'd keep an eye on it. It seems like our most likely goalkeeper signing if we are going to sign one, but so much conflicting information, and I don't have any sources. I'm just reading all the other sources conflicting with each other, and it's difficult to know what's true. So I'll just wait and see.
But apparently another goalkeeper has been linked. Jan Sommer. Jackie Nelson says. I've not seen that.
Okay. Where's he from again? Is he
Switzerland? He plays in the Bundesliga, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he's one of the really, really good, talented young goalkeepers, isn't he? For some reason, who he plays for and what he does has just completely slipped my mind.
Sommer. He used to be a walkout on FIFA. That's what about I do know about him. He's not anymore, I don't think.
Oh, he's he's at Gladbach, of course. So
yeah.
Oh no, Janssen. Oh, he's the old guy. Who am I thinking of then? Are we on about Jan Sommer?
Yeah, Jan Sommer. Yeah.
Oh, he's 33. I'm thinking of a completely different person. My apologies. Yeah, this is the 33-year-old Gladbach keeper.
Shamik says, "Cheers, guys. I'm looking forward to the next season. I am from Mauritius. Our fame and fortune is spreading the globe, Alex. We're global." Kenzie says, "Would Ekitike's simming hamstring injury allow him to come sooner then?" Well, they're going to qualify for the final. I don't think he'll be going anywhere until after that's done. Even though he's not playing, I think I'll keep
he
him
might leave. You never know. If he's injured, he might just leave.
He could, I guess.
and I wouldn't worry about it. Like people seem to be concerned, but let's not forget when's the first game of the season? It's normally mid-August, second-ish week of August.
It's early this year, though, isn't it? Because of the World Cup. So I think they're having
of course.
First week of August, I think.
So I mean, what until we've still got 3 weeks left of June, 4 weeks of July. So he's got a reasonable
7-8 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Even if it's a bad hamstring, he'll still be recovered within the first couple of games of the season anyway. So
No hampers pre-season, but I guess all these games he's having now, Lewis is now watching. Why we're not going for Mara, Bordeaux being relegated, so it probably wouldn't cost a lot. Great goal he scored, I've got to say. It was a great goal.
He looked very, very good in the previous game that I watched as well against Argentina. He's looked good in several games I've seen him. I agree. I think he's very, very good. I've not seen him linked with anybody big though, but he looks really sharp. And yeah, Bordeaux have gone down and they are hemorrhaging money as well. I think they're like 60 million in debt or something. They are awful with finances, and they went through the trapdoor comfortably. So good shout, but I've seen about regime, but I've seen about what 150 minutes of him total. So maybe there's a reason why he's not linked with bigger moves. I'm not a scout, I don't know, but he looks great.
Looks good with service. Maybe he didn't get any service at Bordeaux, and maybe that's the reason why they went down. He scored two in the last game, 2 Ryan says.
He's made 26 appearances in Ligue 1, 900 minutes, 6 goals. 23 pressures per 90 as a forward, which is elite, but he is, a young, energetic forward. Dribbler, 3.5 shots per 90 is very, very high as well. So he's a dribbly boy, he's energetic, and he shoots as often as he possibly can. Good for shot creating actions as well. Yeah, he looks like a very tidy young player. Apparently he's similar to Skamaka, who everybody's talking about, Jonathan David. His 10th statistical similar player is Giroud, which I'm not seeing visually when I watch him. He doesn't look like Giroud at all. I don't know how that's there. Very weird.
No,
but
the finish was similar, I guess.
Yeah, Rafa Mir and Skamaka are on this list. Both very good players. Yeah, it's I agree. I don't know why he's not on more lists. He looks very good.
Ekiteke has moved reports have absolutely no interest in coming to Newcastle. Well, that's just reports, I guess. There's also reports they need, so you pay him when he takes a choice. No news on the goalkeeper. Well, Henderson's different sources, different strokes, different folks. Some say it's over, some say it's not. We just have to wait till see what happens, I guess. Let's wait and see. That maybe the hamstring is just strained. He might have gone off as a precaution to still secure a move to us as well. I think he felt it twinged and he went off, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, if you see the clip from anywhere, I don't know if it gets clipped, have a look. He did the typical, the famous Gareth Bale move where he dinked it down the left wing and then he ran off the pitch to try and get space to run to get past his man, and then he instantly pulled up with his hand sort of upper back leg on the hamstring. That wasn't acting, I'm afraid.
No, it wasn't.
Because he was in a good position there. It would have been really nice to see if he could have got on the end of that. Because as Paul said earlier, he absolutely burnt his man. If he could have kept going, that could have been really interesting. And here he is.
Hi. Where are we up to on the comments, Billy?
Adam Alejandro was the last one. Talking about the hamstring, 5:40 p.m.
5:40.
I'm going to disappear for a bathroom break as well for the second half.
Okay, Billy, no problem. Troll says, I've read Forest are having a £100 million war chest, so we have to spend or we're in the back of the end. Forest, I'm intrigued about Nottingham Forest, about what they'll do in the summer, Billy, because first season back, obviously a massive, massive name in the world of football, given that they've won the European Cup a few occasions, and I think 20 odd years outside the Premier League. It's crazy, isn't it? Considering they were one of the founder teams in it, they just disappeared. I'll be interested to see who they can attract to the club.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a feeling that'll be okay. I think they will spend a few quid. I think the owner seems to be well supportive what's going on there, especially with the manager doing as well as he did when he came in.
Mm.
So yeah, I think Forest got a feeling Forest will be okay. They've got some good players as it is. Obviously, the likes of Colback and them, if they keep all those players, are going to struggle. But I think they'll be upgrading a lot of players on that side. But the likes of Brannon Johnson, the guy at the back, Worrell, looks a good player. The keeper's excellent player, although I thought already he's turned down a new contract. So,
thing as well, I think had they not been promoted, they would have lost a lot of their talent because certainly the likes of Johnson, etc. I mean, even we were linked to him early doors before Nottingham Forest won the playoff final. So they've got some talent already there, and I don't think they're going down straight away next season. I think they'll stay up.
I agree.
I think they're a big enough side to stay up. They've got a good fan base there, and for me, it's nice to see them back rather than the usual yo-yo teams. And hopefully, Forest can make a go of it. You're starting to get some of the teams back in the Premier League now, like the likes of Leeds United and Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
it's good to have them back. So I'll be very intrigued to see what Bournemouth do as well. Of course, Matt Ritchie, is linked with going back there. I mean, obviously, it's an obvious thing to do is to link Matt Ritchie with Bournemouth, but a lot of people are saying, well, hang on, Eddie Howe might want him at Newcastle, in a coaching role, a player coach role to start with, and then further down the line on the coaching staff. So it's not all. I mean, Richie's not come out and said anything either, has he? I mean, he's just probably waiting to see what happens and having discussions with the club as well.
I mean, Scott Parker might not want him. We don't know, do we? We're just linking. People are just adding 2 and 2 together and getting 5. So until something happens concrete, you can't say anything about it really. But yeah, it looks like a move that would be good for Matt Ritchie. Whether it would be a move good for Bournemouth, I'm not so sure. I think his legs are gone. So.
Of course, Premier League fixtures come out next Thursday as well. So we find out a week today who we get in the first game of the season. Really looking forward. Fixtures coming out is always quite good because you. But then again, half of them bloody change. So it's not like they stay where they are. What did you make of the? Did you see the news that the whoever had somebody had asked for the Big Six not to be involved close to the World Cup kicking off? Did you see that?
I did, yeah. I thought it was ridiculous.
I mean, it's if that's not saying to me that there's a cartel here, then what the hell's going on? Because why should that be for the so-called Big Six, but not for the rest of the Premier League?
Makes no sense whatsoever. And if you look at the actual England side, I mean, how many of them play for the Big Six? And the goalkeepers at Everton.
Yeah.
Kieran Trippier, you could argue would be a star if he plays, if he's there. So he's not one of the Big Six sides, teams, players.
Yeah.
And then the likes of Cody, there's loads of them, isn't there? Phillips, Rice.
Some of those that play for the Big Six don't play regularly. You've got Grealish there who was on the bench a lot for Man City. Yeah.
Players.
I just thought that was absolutely astounding. Me, it's just crazy. Everton are run by a bunch of crackheads, apparently. I don't disagree with you. New season starts on the 6th of August. 6th and 7th. Yeah, fixtures, of course, out next Thursday. How many total signings do you think we will make this season? Says Larry.
This season.
You can't put I think he means the window, but listen, you can't put a number on it because Newcastle United, and I've said this all along, they'll buy what is needed to improve the squad. Eddie Howe will be always in discussions now with Dan Ashworth about what they can do to improve the squad, what positions we need. And it's not like we're going to say, we need 2 or 3 players. They'll get players in that they think we need. And that gives me more confidence than anything else that we will get the players that will do a job, because what we can't do is get players who don't buy into what Eddie Howe wants and how Eddie Howe plays. They've got to buy into it straight away. And by that, that's when negotiations start, when the players come to talk to people like Eddie Howe or Dan Ashworth, whoever it may be. Discussions like that will take place. So again, these might have already taken place behind the scenes for all we know. We just don't know.
I've got a completely different game on the same channel I was watching on before. I've now got a Madrid derby from last season on.
Wow.
Pass.
Well, about to kick off the second half on mine.
Just made a substitution.
Mexico are making a change.
I'm going to searching.
the ref's checking his pockets before he goes on? Is that a? I mean, I don't know how they train referees, but is that anybody who is referee trained or knows what? Do they always do that? Do they check players' pockets
Well,
before they
I
run on the
didn't think the
pitch?
shorts had pockets in, to be honest.
No, she checked the right side and the left side for, I don't know if it was for a number or an icon or whether it was, I'm not sure why.
Mate. Maybe she just thought he was a good looking lad and wanted to check him out. Anyway, second half's underway, but I can't see Mexico getting into this. Jesus, Paul, your volume. Is my volume high?
Seems fine.
It's me.
Turn it down if it's too loud. Forest would love to have Wood. Well, they can have him. They can have him. Ricard, thank you for your 50 Swedish krona. He says, what about Osimhen? I rather have him than Nunez and Abraham. Fantastic striker. And of course,
very expensive.
Well, that's expensive, but Arsenal have backed out of that one now, haven't they? So technically, he's available.
I mean, Arsenal have got a lot of balls in the air at the moment, haven't they? They're not really sure. They're linked with Gabriel Jesus. They're basically linked with everybody we're linked with, plus 5 or 6 additionals that we're not. Like, they've got a lot of links as well. Because they're going to want to kick on, try and push for Champions League football, and they also need a bigger squad if they're going to deal with the Europa League next season. Because they had no European commitments, and they've really struggled. As we all know, against us, they were a bit thin. They struggled. So if they're going to try and break into the Champions League,
hasn't he? He's gone back to
exactly.
They've lost. To Leon.
Nketiah's contract's not been announced yet, I don't think. Lacazette's gone. And they want to try and break into the Champions League and need to deal with Europa League fixtures. So they need players.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Oh, what a save. What a save that was from the French keeper. Corner swung into the back post, headed back across the keeper, and he...
Keep an eye on Mexico for a minute.
Yeah, they're coming back again. And have scored. Mexico pull one back.
Is it?
It's not
Santi?
Munoz. No. No.
It's their number 10. It was a lovely little, he beat a man, left-footed. Not particularly strong goalkeeping there, but
no.
Yeah.
He sort of went for it with his leg instead of his hand, didn't he, the goalkeeper? I'm not sure what he was doing there.
It was Matt Sima, the number 5 French centre-back. I don't know what he was defending there, but not his man.
Yeah, but they lost the ball in the first place. They tripped over the ball. That might give Mexico a bit of a boosh.
Yeah, this was the game plan. Get a goal back early on in the first.
Second half. They've obviously had a rollicking in the dressing room because they've come out pretty strongly. Toon says, I'm new to these Toon channels. Wonder what you all talked about before the Saudi takeover. Well, it was mainly depression, my friend. It was, it was mainly ranting about Steve Bruce. It was mainly
not a lot.
There wasn't a lot to talk about, but
before I was affiliated with Paul and the Toon Review, I tried to start a podcast about 9 times, and I interviewed about 20 odd people who were interested, and everybody was like, "Yeah, but we suck, so I don't want to."
Yeah,
nobody wanted to do a podcast because we were just awful.
Very difficult to do. Because there was nothing to talk about. And plus the fact that every time we did a fan forum or anything else, it was more like a counselling session for us Newcastle fans.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful. Ian says, Wood and Lascelles to Forest for 50 million. If Forest paid 50 million for Wood and Lascelles, we'd burn the receipt immediately.
Throw Darlow in there and we'll make it 100.
Absolutely. Richie would be a waste of space, squad space, to be honest. If we haven't moved on from him this summer, we are not moving fast enough, in my opinion. Margaret says, sell Wood for half what we bought for, cut our losses.
I don't know if we'd get half because he's on 100 grand a week. I'm not sure anybody's going to pay that.
I don't think he's going anywhere anyway. He's in our squad next season. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But you know what? I mean, he may decide that he'll sort of lose a few pounds, get himself really, really fit, and we might see different Chris Wood. I can't see it, but No. Has Gale gone on loan, or was that Bull? No, I think he is talking to Middlesbrough, isn't he? But there's nothing happened as yet. Listen, for me, it would be a good move for Dwight Gale. He'd get regular first-team football, but he has to want it, of course. You know, there is these players that just, wow.
Yeah, Munoz got brought down on the edge of the box. That was a foul. He didn't touch the ball.
Jesus.
And then they went and fouled a French player on the left wing. Mexico should have had a free kick on the edge of the box there because Munoz actually moved his feet quickly.
I'm just showing it now. Oh, God, yes. How is that not a free kick?
Yeah,
that is a horribly late one on the French kid, though. Jesus Christ.
I think that was from the Enzu. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. The youth prospect for Bayern Munich. He's a French
the Mexicans
very,
do
very
not
good.
like it when the things go against them. It's clear to see.
I mean,
even at this age.
Should have been their free kick, to be fair.
It was a terrible tackle on Munoz. Spun round and looked like he was going to hit it on his left foot. France coming forward again. Oh, nice ball down the side. It's going to run out. No, it's not. He's got the cross in, but there's nobody there.
Oh.
Seem to say that every game we bloody watch at the minute. Even
He's
Newcastle. Cross comes in, there's nobody there.
Yeah, we got a breakaway in a second, but it's a bit underwhelming. Try to play a through ball through to Munoz. Munoz even, if I can remember his name.
That's a terrible ball. Absolutely shocking.
He didn't, even though if it was a better ball, it didn't look like he got the pace to get ahead of the centre back, which is
centre back looks
unfortunate. Rapid. Yeah,
that number 5, the number 5 for France, that centre back, he's very lanky, but he sort of he doesn't look 100% at it. You know, like
he made the mistake with the goal, didn't he? So
yeah,
he definitely could have. Oh, people falling over nothing, and the referee agrees. Just falling over absolute nothing at all. Oh, this is comical. It's getting quite scrappy now. People standing on toes and standing on blades of grass and falling over it. It's getting a little bit youth gamey.
Oh my God! Can you make that a better dive? How isn't he booked for that?
I don't know. It's terrible.
And worse is he went down holding his leg as if he'd been like injured. I definitely think
he was
a red
on the way down before
offside,
the challenge.
surely.
Definitely, as the commentator said, I agree.
There's going to be a red card in this game. Definitely.
No, they seem to overlook it. Every game I've watched in this tournament, there's been a red card in my opinion, and they just don't get given. They just move it on.
That is a shocking dive. That is absolutely disgraceful. Not even to be booked. There's certainly a lot of niggles going on here. Anyway, what do you make about the Lorenzo Pellegrini story today? Front page news in Italy. I've just seen John Sinclair's.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've just seen John Sinclair's tweet about it, and he says, if anyone thinks that we're going to get him, it's laughable. But he said that about Botman as well, to be fair.
But Pellegrini is he is the attacker for Roma, because Abraham's, everybody keeps talking about, well, maybe he'll come back to the Prem. It's rumoured. Zaniolo's obviously got his injury woes. So Pellegrini is the man. I just can't see them letting him go. And I don't know why he would necessarily come to us either at the moment, because he's very, very much Mr. Roma.
Yeah.
And he's playing, I don't know. It's a strange move because he's going to be an integral part of them going forward. It depends. We'd have to pay an arm and a leg to get him out of there. It's not like moving from Lille to us. No disrespect to Lille, but Rome has a lot more history.
Tell you what, Mexico are giving this a go, like, without a shadow of a doubt. Just makes you wonder why they didn't play like this in the first half. But it'd be nice to see Munoz get a goal. I mean, we really wanted to see Ekiteke off the bar from France. That was
Sakomara again. That was his hat trick.
Yeah,
off the crossbar.
Was that a cross? Do you think?
No, he'll say it was a shot, won't he?
Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't think he was. Who knows? Efrain Alvarez, the best of a bad bunch for Mexico, has played regularly in the MLS for the Galaxy. Football Style says Sven Botman will come to Newcastle United. Matt Seamer from Monaco is a bit suspect at the back. Huge difference from Badashila to him.
Yeah, he is. I agree. He's looked well. I've seen like an hour of him, but yeah, first impression's not good.
No, definitely not. I've just seen reports we are making an offer to Braga for 16-year-old Roger Fernandez, a winger that made his debut at 15 years old.
Transfer show yesterday, we'd looked.
We did indeed. We featured him yesterday, and certainly if he comes in, especially with us already getting that Irish kid in as well, the academy's starting to shake, rattle, and roll as well. Chippers wants to know if there's any news on Bas Dost. He's been waiting 10 years for this signing.
coming in with Tranquilla Barnetta, apparently.
Scramble in the box coming up for you, Paul, now from France.
The scramble. High ball lofted in. Back post. Appeals for handball. Dear God. Oh. Wow. It's like one of them TikTok videos you watch when they sort of, you think they're going to score. Surely they're going to score, and then it just bounces around.
There's about 4 block shots there.
Dear me.
France definitely should have scored there.
Yeah, this could finish.
Mexico are doing well to still be in this game somewhat. 3-1 down. If they get another goal back, they are still kind of in this game, and they're fortunate to be so because France have been all over them.
Mm. Any other players, Alex, you want to mention?
There are a few. I mean, I definitely think Pellegrini's a no. If for quality, absolutely yes. I highly doubt we're gonna be able to get him. In terms of people that we haven't mentioned, it's on my other pad.
Just while you're doing that, Chi wants to know, Alex, would you trade Wood for Mitrovic?
Yes, 100%.
I think anybody with a footballing brain would trade Wood for Mitrovic. But Football Star says Paul, Alex, and Bailey. Bailey, you got a new name, mate. Can you guys tell me your thoughts of Hugo getting injured because I came in late? Well, it's just typical, isn't it? I mean, he tries to take a guy on down the wing and pulls up holding the back of his leg. Just one of those things, unfortunately. But that seems to be the case with a lot of players that Newcastle keep looking at. They get injured over time.
And we're back in the game.
Hey! Mexico coming forward again.
What time you got? 58 minutes I've got.
Yeah, I'm 20 seconds behind you.
Yeah, I'm 58. I'm just choosing my names carefully because we've got a few that are interesting that would be more appropriate to show on screen.
On the stats,
yeah. So we'll do it. I'll do it in a good way.
Guys, just remember, if you are enjoying the show tonight, please do hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and become a member if you like by hitting that join button just underneath the video. And of course, you can donate to the channel by hitting the super chat button, which is the $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you straight through. So thanks in advance for that, and thank you to everybody that has donated to the channel so far tonight. Really, really do appreciate that. Ian says, been for the stadium tour at St. James's with an old friend from overseas. What a fantastic couple of hours. Yeah, I might get one for me and the little lad over the summer. Just take him to the ground. Just when you get a name, Alex, just fire it away, man.
I mean, he is for a show, but we can have a chat about somebody whose name keeps cropping up again and again, and that's Jack Harrison from Leeds. So we've not actually we've talked about him briefly, but we've not had him up on a screen properly in a transfer show. So
yeah,
left-footed, Leeds, interesting player, 25 years old, in his prime, in theory, or about to go into his prime. Again, a left-footed midfielder, attacking midfielder, wingy kind of person.
Yeah.
2,600 minutes in the Premier League, 8 goals, 1 assist. It is 8 goals from 4 XG, 4 non-penalty goal XG. So he's doubled his XG. So is that lucky, or is that just through chance volume from his team? He should have had 2.5 assists and he got 1. So
I think he's a very, very good player.
I mean,
Whenever
yeah,
I've seen him
I
play,
agree.
I've been impressed.
It is nice in a way because I mean Jesse Marsh is going to try and rebuild Leeds in his image. He's made one fullback signing, trying to get another one from Red Bull. So then there's definitely players available, but they need a bigger squad. But they're going to rebuild. So Jack Harrison fits what we want because they can all press. Everybody in Leeds can press. So we know what we're going to get to a level when we sign somebody from Leeds. 20 pressures per 90 from an attacking midfield / winger position is again, we talked about this yesterday. Anything over 20 pressures is tidy from a winger or that kind of player. Very, very good. Tackles, interceptions, blocks, clearances. He's just puts himself about.
Kicked off.
We have a massive kickoff here. Some big fights going on. Hang on, off the stat screen.
You're like this, Paul. It's an ice hockey fight.
What happened in the build-up to that? Do we know?
No.
Oh, here we go. Whoa! Oh, my God. He's pushed him over and he's gone rolling around holding his face. Dear God, get a life.
Munoz is right in the middle of it.
Oh, here we go. Goalkeeper's out. Oh, get in there.
Oh, God, please don't say we're going to get Munoz sent off. One injured, one off. Right.
Hey, she's walked away from him now.
But the thing is...
Yellow card for the number 10 for France.
That was ridiculous the way he went down, though, the Mexican player there, if he'd been punched in the face. Quite clearly, he was pushed in the chest.
For Odashish, a yellow card. Is that it?
Nothing happened.
Hang
on.
Really.
Yeah. But there was a bit of a push right in front of the ref line, but yeah, like you say, it was a nice bit of skill.
I think he was pushing. Yeah, it was a push because there was a free kick or something, and Mexico wanted the ball, so they just pushed him to try and get the ball, and it started a bit of a brawl.
That's handbags. That I mean,
he just wanted to take a quicker free kick. That was all it was. That was very unnecessary. 2 subs waiting to come on for France as well.
Like I said, I think there'll be a red card in this game just simply because the Mexicans hate losing. Colin says if Ekiteke is injured, who else could we actually get in to support Wilson and help chip in with the goals, but will not cost an arm and a leg? Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Everybody costs an arm and a leg when we're sort of, shopping at the top table, you're going to have to pay an arm and a leg for these players. Gone are the days where we're shopping around in the bargain basement. I mean, many people could say that Chris Wood was a bargain basement just to get us out of a spot of trouble that we were in.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive wherever we go. Even if we try and pick up one of the more talented players who've just been playing in the Championship, if we try and pick up a Solanke, a Mitrovic, Diaz Brereton, any of those who've done well at Championship level are all still going to cost 20 or 30 million. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what level we shop at. It's going to be money. And unless it might be a bit early for Dan Ashworth to have an impact in that regard, but maybe in the future we might be able to find some gems because this is what we tried previously. We tried to pick up Yoshinori Muto and players like this a bit under the radar for 7, 8, 9, 10 million and see if they would be competent. And it generally didn't. It generally never worked.
I like Muto. I think he wasn't given a fair crack of the whip. I think he was a decent player, mate.
Yeah, he was energetic. He'd got a good work ethic. There was potential there. It was just in the wrong team.
No one will touch Riviere though, will they? Because he was just absolute quality.
Riviere, that is a name. Bloody hell!
Hey, let's remember, right? He did look good in pre-season. Chipper says, breaking news, Sue Barker to retire after this year's Wimbledon, and now I am asleep.
Is she still playing?
Oh, God. Lewandowski had a fallout with the manager over position to take during crosses. That's why he wants to leave.
This is rumoured. This is a supposed leak about Nagelsmann telling him how he could potentially be in a better position to receive a cross. And Lewandowski said, I scored 41 goals. We don't know if that's true. That's a rumoured leak. Maybe.
Yeah. Time will tell. I think he'll leave anyway. I think he's going on.
I mean, it makes if he's already this is already nailed on to leave. He's already said he wants to. Why would they start, leaking stuff? It would be a bit weird.
Lovely little backflip from Munoz there. Lovely little backflip.
It was. I've just seen it as well.
Very theatrical fall.
Ref's starting to struggle to keep hold of the game now.
Yeah, I'm starting to think
penalty.
Oh.
No.
Nah.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Strength.
You're not going to get away with that in Europe, I'm afraid. You've got to stay and fight for that ball.
This is going to kick off shortly. You just get the feeling that it's simmering. And it's going to kick off. Stotty says, I remember Notts Forest. Don't tell Cloughie. Sub come on. He didn't look too much. Then he jumped and nutted in war net. Wood did next to nothing to help us stay up. Larry says Muto was decent. Ryan says, I feel like Ashworth is going to find another gem from Ecuador, and it'll be a striker similar to what he did with Moise Casido. Like he did bring some really good players to Brighton.
Oh, is this the new kid? I think Ryan's on about the new kid. There's a new kid, 18 years old, superstar gem from South America that Brighton are just about to sign. An 18-year-old. I think that's what he's referring to. I've not looked into the story properly. It's on my to-do list to look into.
Has he been on? Did they sign him before? And he's been on loan somewhere.
I can't remember. South American wonder kid Brighton. Like it definitely probably was a Dan Ashworth plan before he left. This is what I said the other day. I think I put this in the comments on the Loaded show that it'll be nice. I mean, we get this all the time, don't we? That the elite clubs will bring over like a hot prospect or a very, very highly rated young talent from Brazil or Mexico or Argentina. I can't wait for us to do that. They'll be like one of the youngest, best players in a top South American league. And we go and pluck them and get that pre-contract. That'll be very nice. Because as much as I enjoy the Brazil and the Frenchness, we've got a history for sort of Peru and Colombia and we've got Miggy. We'd like another South American.
Yeah, it's turned into the South American Newcastle, isn't it? Fabrizio Romano has tweeted saying that Ekiteke's agent has delayed it. Hang on, did I not see on a few other sort of in the nose that the deal was done and it was all finished and signed?
You may well have done.
Or was I dreaming that? So this is why we don't do it on this channel. You get them made to be looked a fool. And, what's
France
the point?
A proper sitter there. You seen it?
Wow. This game should be absolutely dead and buried now.
Oh, Munoz at it again.
He looks a bit feisty, doesn't he?
He is proper little feisty character. He is.
It's really difficult to tell if it's a lack of quality around him or if it's him. I think France is probably just one of the best team in the tournament, to be honest. Very difficult to give any useful assessments of Munoz. Nice little back heel. He's in the right place, but
that's all he's done, though, isn't it?
There's not a lot to go on, but it's difficult to know if it's his fault or not. Not enough, really. Not enough to see.
He's getting a bit arsey out there. Pulling shirts, pushing people over.
He is, isn't he? He's getting fully stuck in.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he's dragging arms down and everything. This referee needs to use her cards a bit more because this game's getting a bit out of hand. The whole point of the referees is to protect the players so people don't get hurt as well. So she needs to do a little bit more of a... Needs to control it slightly better. Yeah, Munoz has been really dirty here.
He is. I love the way that they literally rugby tackle someone and then they sort of look at the referee. What are you talking about? That wasn't a foul.
He literally reverse Ramos somebody, then pulled his arm down and then looked at the ref like, what? That was fine.
He's got some quiff on him, I'll tell you that.
How
slowed him down.
How this game's only 3-1.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
This game could be 5-2, 6-2. They just can't finish the dinner.
Alvin says, hello, gents from the US of A. A few of the in-the-know sources seem to be past their use-by date, says Lee. Romano just tweeted new ham injury for Ekiteke today. The deal could be even more delayed now after the injury. Newcastle will also consider other options.
Interesting.
Well, he's got that very quickly, hasn't he? I mean,
that was a horrible phone call for Mr. Eddie Howe on his holiday.
Yes.
Unless he was watching the game, of course.
He'll probably be watching the game, won't he? if he is a major target.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, if it's a few months out injured, it might just put Newcastle off. Let's be honest. I
mean, Romano's essentially said that it's Ekiteke's agent has postponed the Monday meeting. So it's from Ekiteke's side that they've done the delaying, not us, which is weird. You would imagine it would be the club that need a minute to reassess, but it seems to be from Ekiteke's agent. So,
oh dear me, unlucky.
But we've
that's
a
worry to me. If it's been delayed on his side, that would worry me more. To be honest,
yeah, that is a bit weird.
Things aren't great. Things aren't 100%.
I mean, there are. I should have scored that. There's 8 weeks until the new season starts. So for a hamstring injury, it wouldn't change much. I don't think he'd still play in the season.
I'm sure I've watched a few videos saying "Welcome to Newcastle, Hugo Ekiteke." I'm sure I have. Strange that, isn't it? Oh, that should have been a goal from Mexico.
Well, this is precisely why we've all been saying you've got to wait until the shirt's on, because accidental things like this can happen and it changes a transfer last minute. Especially players who are playing matches in between the transfer being signed. This is very possible, and it's just happened. So you've got to.
I'll tell you what's promising here. Munoz has dropped a little bit deeper now, and he's getting in the game an awful lot more, and he's played some nice little passes.
Yeah, he's got a very good first touch, and he's got a very good cheeky little 1-2 passes. He's from what I'm seeing, is he a striker? He seems a lot. He seems a lot. He seems a lot more
like Billy says, he's dropped deeper here, and he's getting more touches of the ball, and he's actually made some nice little passes.
He's come out to the left now. He's out on the left of what I'm watching here.
Yeah, they've changed the formation, haven't they, since they made that last substitution, and it seems to have worked because they're dominating now. That wasn't great though.
Yeah, I think it might have just been a mismatch, him up against two giant centre-backs for France as well.
And they are giants, by the way. They are huge.
So receiving the ball a bit deeper and a bit wider, he's been able to do a bit more with it and have a tiny bit more time to think.
Man, this game should have been put to bed a long time ago, to be fair. Let's be honest here. France should be about 6-1 up at the minute, or 6-2.
They're playing some nice stuff at the moment, Mexico.
The game's certainly opened up a bit more now, hasn't it? I think Mexico know they need to press. Is this the semi-final? It is, isn't it?
Yeah. So this will be France going through to the final. I've forgotten who the other semi-final is now. I had it already and I've completely forgotten. It is.
Danny says Calvert-Lewin inbound, lol, or Richarlison as he's asked to leave Everton.
No.
I don't want Richarlison at all. Nowhere near the football.
You don't see Richarlison had a fight with Vinicius Jr. in the Brazil camp.
Yeah.
He's fighting with his own international teammates. It's been nothing but a joke.
He'd have a fight with himself if he could, to be fair.
All he did, he thinks he's funny, posting aggravating things on Twitter as well. It's just we're trying to move away from that as a club. We're trying to get a squeaky clean image, try and be helping the community, involved in lots of causes. We don't want to play like that, regardless of how good he is at football.
Yep. Kamal saying that Munoz is doing a J7 halfway through this game. He has indeed totally changed position and certainly getting more of the ball. Some of the French fans there just enjoying the sunshine. God, he's another giant coming on. Bloody hell. Got some big chaps of the French, haven't they?
It was Venezuela beat Colombia on penalties. So it'll be Venezuela, France, unless there's an upset. I think that's a Venezuela under 23s.
Oh, well played. Well played. Oh, Munoz again.
Danny says about Richarlison, but the guy scores goals. The right manager can make players. And I'm sorry, Alex, we had Tino. Do you remember his mad antics?
Yeah.
Yeah, times have changed since Tino.
Munoz just doing things. What was the specific issue there about players being like in a bad image, or
the right manager can make the players. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to a level, but Richarlison has shown himself up in so many ways this season with his diving, being aggressive off the ball unnecessarily, screaming at the referees, throwing flares into crowds, his tweets, his fighting with his international teammates in training. It's not one or two things. It's a lot of issues that are all on and off the pitch, in dressing rooms. He's fighting with. It's not, it's so many different issues. It's not just one thing. He might be a good enough player. He might be a great player, but do we want that? We're going to have a lot of eyes on us anyway because of certain issues with the takeover. Do we want also a bad apple in the press on our team as well?
Well, the last thing we need is a bad apple, because and Eddie Howe made sure of saying that, didn't he? That when he's signing players, he is not going to disrupt the feel-good factor around the dressing room and around the club. And for me, Richarlison is one of those that would just destroy that. Like when they were talking about Pogba or Aubameyang, these are proven people who cause upset in the dressing room. It's all about them and not the team. So I don't think Eddie Howe would be wanting these players anyway.
Yeah, there's enough quality out there that we don't have to go for somebody like Richarlison. And again, Everton would consider us direct rivals, wouldn't they? That they're trying to do what we're trying to do and Villa are trying to do. We're trying to push for European places and become a better side. Obviously, Everton have taken a huge step back because of their drop-off, but it's still going to be their long-term goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I get the Ekiteke thing with the fans, Paul, but Salzburg are the most top team for producing decent players. Haaland, Mane, Jimmy, Naby Keita, real talents. Minamino. I can't argue with that.
That's why we've been linked with a Salzburg player. The Sucic kid that we talked about.
John says, do you think ASM and Miggy will still be with us next season? I think they will. I think they will. I think the price at Newcastle last for Miggy is too much, and I don't think anybody will pay the amount that they're looking for ASM anyway. But I think ASM, I'm happy to give ASM another season and see what he can do. Certainly with let's just see what kind of squad we end up with for next season and see, what the players are like around Maxi, and let's see if this, if Maxi can improve with better players around him with a better final third. There's no denying Maxi's got the skill to beat players. It's just that final thing, whether it's the cross or the shot that lets him down. But I'm certainly happy to give ASM another season. Miggy's an enigma for me. I don't know. I just don't know. He seems to be fantastic for a couple of games and just disappears again.
I'm not so sure we'll be able to get rid of him, even if we wanted to.
No, like I say, what's his release? 60 million or something, isn't it?
It's not that. I think they'd take anything reasonable. I don't think they care necessarily. I think they would take anything that was reasonable. It's more about the wages.
79.25 guys. Let's get his lad signed up because he's absolutely awesome.
Who?
Mara. Ooh,
that's a fantastic.
Yeah, that was filthy. Oh no, it wasn't Mara. That was somebody else. That was the number 10.
Great goal.
Oh, cheers.
Sorry. But you'll see it now.
Oh.
That was very nice.
Oh. Good night, Vienna. My game over.
He's been a little bit scrappy off the ball, but...
That's a fantastic finish.
Yeah, he actually looks to play him.
What's the Mexican player doing on the line?
What's their fullback?
What's he doing?
What's 11 do? Where is 11 playing?
I
No,
think
he's
that's
still
what
on
the
penalty
Mexican
spot.
manager's trying to ask them now. What on earth were you doing there, Sunshine? No, Mexico are not going to be in the final.
That was
lovely
Emil
play on the
Kraft
left-hand
from
side
6
as well,
months
by the
ago.
way, beating them 2 French players and then just squaring it across the 18-yard box.
That fullback displays exactly how Kraft was playing before
Yeah.
he hit form. Is he would put his arms behind his back to prevent the handball, and then he would just take steps back and be out of position. That's very poor.
Some very questionable defending there.
Awful defending.
Very questionable.
He still had to do a lot with that finish, but
And I think the Mexican manager is not happy at all. This is when things will start to go, this is when shit will hit the fan. The Mexicans will start flying around.
I think it's
Yiba, Andre, Yiba.
oh, that's a red, even if you didn't get the ball. The replay of that tackle, he lunged in, studs up. I mean, he didn't hit the player, but the intent's there, lunging in with studs up. You're not allowed to do that. That's literally a straight red. It's so dangerous. If that makes contact, you're going to snap a bone.
Oh, my God.
Did you see
How
the replay
high
of
was
it?
that leg?
So bad. It doesn't matter if you miss the player. That's a leg breaker. You've got to send people off for that.
My
It's so
God.
dangerous.
Jesus, that is disgusting. That like.
And yeah, Mara's gone off and been replaced with the most French name you'll ever hear, Richardson.
Richardson.
Yeah, when I glanced, I thought it said Richarlison for a minute. I was like, hang on.
Yeah, Richardson's an interesting French name. I thought you were going to say Haw or something like that, Billy, not Richardson.
I think Mara is my favourite player from the 2 games I've watched with France. I do think Mara is a cracking player. He plays on the right side as well, which is where we need. So would be
There's
an
a lot of
interesting
diving
shout.
going on in this game as well.
Oh, it's quite scrappy now.
But back to Jack Harrison, by the way.
Yeah.
Closest match statistically is Anthony Gordon, who, funny player, but I mean, he got a brilliant assist for the England youth teams the other night. Bombed it down the left wing, cracking left-footed whip ball in. Dwight McNeil as well, underrated, very good at driving the ball. So Jack Harrison's matches are pretty good. Left-footed. He's what we need. It makes sense. He's linked with us for a reason because it fits the position we need. Solid, proven in the league, can play in a pressy kind of system. Wouldn't be too much of a transition, I don't think.
Yeah.
How much of a step up is he from Miggy and Murphy and Fraser, though? I think he's probably better. I think Fraser's obviously had better seasons earlier on in his career, phenomenal seasons. But right now, I'd say Harrison is better than them. Unless Miggy can start, because Miggy on his day is unplayable, but he just doesn't do it. He does it once in 15 appearances. Yeah, Jack Harrison would be an interesting shout. It would just be how much would Leeds want for him. I mean, they are spending money, so they might want a bit of cash back. So
yeah,
very possible.
I mean, Harrison comes from that Man City academy as well, doesn't he? I mean, he came through the Man City ranks. Went over to America.
From New York City FC, yeah.
He went over to America to play the Man City franchise over there in New York City, and he looked, when I was watching the MLS, he looked really good there as well. So
yeah, and his final year there, they came second in the league. He got 10 goals, 3 assists in America, and then he went to Middlesbrough, played in their youth teams, and for the first team in the Championship in the same season, and then he went to Leeds 2018-19, third in the Championship, and then they won
something, right?
The next year.
The Mexicans must think a lot of Munoz because they've kept him on.
Mm.
You know, they've made some changes, but he hasn't been taken off.
Well, he is their Santos player, isn't he? He's held in high regard over there.
Yeah.
Well, in the times I've tweeted about Munoz, I get like lots of Mexican players, Mexican people on Twitter that I've never heard of will interact or like things. So he's very well liked. People search for him, and Oh, hello. We just tried a bicycle kick. Oh, that's proper Mexico. That is. He flicked it up himself and then tried a bicycle kick.
That's unlucky.
That's what the best player in the schoolyard tries when he's bored. He flicks it up himself and goes for a bicycle kick. Yeah, they're just trying anything now, Mexico.
Hugo Sanchez, that's where that came from. He started that.
Oh God, remember him? Yeah. A lot of people in the chat not keen on Miggy to go because he is championship quality. Michael says not keen at all on Harrison. Leeds fans do not gush over him. That's not a great sign when you see his goal output. They should be all over him. Foxy says if you want to get rid of Miggy because of end product, surely we want Fraser gone too. Not too much difference, and Fraser is more injury prone.
Yeah, I agree. They're all much of the same, similar issues, similar output problems. I think Jack Harrison right now is slightly better than the three of them, but is he enough better? That's bad English, but I'm doing in English. He's not enough. It's not. We need a significant upgrade on the right wing, not a tiny upgrade. If we're going to start competing at a better level, we need a good right winger.
I'll tell you what, Munoz hasn't half had a better second half. He's been everywhere. I know they're getting beat 4-1, but he's definitely been more involved second half.
He's been their best player, I think.
It's good to see as well when you're 4-1 down and you've got a young lad going at it. It's nice to see because, especially playing at the level we want him to play at in the future, he's got to have the right attitude. So.
And the thing is, he's got a bit of nasty about him as well, which we praising Joe Linton for having that little bit of nasty in him.
He's not dangerous nasty though. He's just being annoying, putting himself about.
I mean, some of the Mexicans have literally tried to go to jail tonight from some of them tackles, but I mean, Jordan says nobody's going to pay his apparent 60 million release clause, so stick with him. Either way, personally, as bad as he can be, for his passion for the club is second to none. Chi says surely Ben Arthur would have put in a few good words to us for us to Botman, since the teammates.
There are rumours that he has spoken to Botman. Apparently, that's already happened. Of course, it would happen.
Oh. What time is the start of the window? I think it's midnight tonight, isn't it? It opens on the 10th, which is midnight. So I assume that when I wake up, 7:15 in the morning and get ready get my little lad out of bed, I'll pop on Twitter with me hot cup of coffee and see that we've signed 3 players or 4 players already, or that we've got the door is open for 5 or 6 medicals. We can dream, guys. We can dream. It's not going to be anything like that, of course. Luke says, of course, they haven't taken him off, Paul. He's the Mexican Lewandowski. Fraser seems to get a free pass from fans at the moment because of his resurrection under Howe. But I agree, he's really not good enough for where we all want to go. Let's give Elliot Anderson his deserved opportunity before looking at other English talent. I agree with that. But we already think that he's going to get a shot in the pre-season, don't we?
I think he'll get full pre-season, and then I think this is already is he quoted this himself? I can't remember where this has come from, but whether it's from a journalist or from Eddie Howe, I'm not 100% sure. But it's been mentioned that the plan is to give him the full pre-season and then make a decision whether they want to keep him for the season or loan him out again to a championship team. That seems to be the general consensus, which makes perfect sense to me. If he seems up for it, keep him, give him 10 appearances. If they think he could be more beneficial out on loan, give him a loan.
Jordan's heard rumours of 2 booked-in medicals for the end of the week. As for who they are, God knows.
Well, there's going to be a treble not in use, isn't there, with this hamstring injury?
Yeah, Jordan, don't.
We had this in January. People book slots, regardless. I'm pretty sure. If there's because they're never sure when things are going to progress. So they have a lot of spaces opened anyway. It doesn't mean there's a name on it always, does it?
Exactly. Rumors just.
I'm pretty sure they're not using the NHS for instance. So I'm sure they'll be privately sort of kind of.
Yeah, they are. They're privately done, of course. So it's. I Like Coffee says, why can't we put in a bid for Bukayo Sako? Or Saka, sorry. Well, because he's contracted to Arsenal, and it would cost a lot of money to get him out of Arsenal.
His dad's a Newcastle fan, though, isn't he?
He is apparently, yeah.
And he used to take him round the away games. Saka watched Newcastle at Old Trafford in the away end, and when he was a kid and all that sort of stuff. So maybe one for the future.
I didn't know
Yeah, don't be surprised if we sign Callum Hudson-Odoi.
I wouldn't mind that. I think
Yeah, good player.
Very good player. Very good player.
Injury prone, isn't he?
Yeah, well, you say that about a lot of Chelsea players, though, can't you? Chelsea pick up a lot of injuries, don't they? Especially to the youngsters. You look at last season and the injuries they had to some of the youngsters, like Reece James and Odoi himself.
God, he's still only 21, Hudson-Odoi. He's been around forever.
Dan says, I've gone to the point you guys have. I've stopped paying attention to sources and just waiting to see who comes through. If we believe half the rumours, we'd sign half of Europe. Exactly. I've always said, that's the thing. On here, we discuss players that have been linked and have a look at them and have a look at the stats and stuff like that. But we don't say, oh, he's imminent or, welcome to Newcastle and he hasn't even frigging signed.
I've been told that.
I've been told these sort of things. Look, the bottom line is when the club announce it, that's when it's done. As they did with Matt Targett yesterday. Simple as that. And that's what we look for. And if players are linked, we'll talk about those players, but we're not for 1 minute going to say that they're signing for the club because you just never know what. And certainly during the transfer window, it's literally hour to hour things change for the whole window. You never know where it is with a player until it's done. Football Matters said the Saudis will want a statement signed, and I do believe that. Who that statement signing will be, however, is still a mystery. Who we'd like it to be, we could say many different players. Paqueta, Diaby, or these kind of players that are right up there playing at the pinnacle. But we don't know. Chipper says there's only one source for me, and it's HP. Good on you, Chippers. Love Darwin, but can't believe Liverpool and Man United are going to pay over £100 million for him.
Only one of them will.
A lot of money.
Yeah, they won't both pay that.
It's a lot of money, though, isn't it? I mean, I think Liverpool signed, with the signing they got last season, absolutely superb player. His name
they can afford it, though.
His name's avoided me for some reason.
What, Luis Diaz? Or...
That's him, aye.
Well, they signed him in January, so he's halfway through the season. But they can afford it based on the Premier League finish and how far they've gone in the Champions League consistently in recent seasons. They get so much prize money and TV money. They can afford this. It's no issue. It's just lucrative, the amount of money they get. They're going to lose Mane as well, aren't they? So,
well, you think they are. I mean, look, he's under contract for another season, theoretically, and the offers that they've had in for him have been absolutely abysmal, and certainly nowhere near Liverpool's valuation of the player. So that's going to be interesting to see how that one works out as well.
But they've not been able to splash the cash too much, which is why they've re-signed Milner for another year, and they're sorting out Gomez's contract because they can't throw around all the money, so they're having to make compromises in certain parts of the pitch. Hence Milner and Gomez, even though they might possibly want to upgrade that, they can't because, Mane's aging. Salah, that's still unclear with his wage demands. So
there's a lot of aging players in the Liverpool squad now. You look at Henderson, Milner. Salah's getting older. Obviously, Mane's getting older. Firmino's getting older. They've got to eventually replace these players, and it's not going to be easy for them to do that.
Firmino's an interesting one, isn't he? I mean, I can't see him being the first choice next season. I don't think.
No.
I think he'll be off somewhere.
With cheeky 15-20 million bid for him, have him for a season.
Hell of a player.
That'd be more of a Chris Wood sort of signing that I would agree with in terms of paying that sort of money for Firmino would be a gamble. But if it paid off, it would pay off. We could sneak into a decent European place if somebody like that has a strong season. It's a weird shout, but he's got the quality.
What happened there?
Change views.
You pressing buttons, Billy Trey?
No, we're me.
Don't know what happened there.
Definitely wasn't me.
Well, the match is finished. 4-1 to France. 17 shots to France, 12 for Mexico, but only 2 on target, which tells a story. But, you know, there it is.
I feel sorry for some of the Mexican attackers there because it was poor defensive work for pretty much all the goals for Mexico.
It was, yeah. Russ says, evening, folks. Just watch Paul's rant in the show, posted. He's at it again. What an absolute classic. Just rubber stamps all the passion you Geordie fans have for your club. Loved it. Cheers, Russ. Right, well, we have come to the end of the show. Obviously, the end of the match. We've been on for a couple of hours, which I've thoroughly enjoyed that.
It should have been a lot better, and just unfortunately, you can't predict the injuries. It's a shame.
Yeah,
so.
Really was looking forward to watching Ekiteke, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case, guys, because he went off injured after 5 minutes with a pulled hamstring, which is a bit disappointing. We hope you've enjoyed the show, because if you have, please do hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, as usual, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, which will let you know when we've uploaded or recorded a video or go live. You can become a member of the Toon Review as well if you hit that join button just underneath the video itself. And we will be back. There may be a recorded video tomorrow, but there will definitely be a live show tomorrow night. Alex, I'm not sure whether you're on a plane or not.
I'm not sure either. Depends when the flights are. Possibly Sunday. I might be on a plane. We'll see.
Right. So
I'll
Alex may be with us tomorrow night. Billy, you'll be with us, won't you? For the more transfer talk, and hopefully, we're into the
tomorrow.
Good stuff. Well, we're in the transfer. I think Danielle might be with us tomorrow as well, so that would be good. Don't forget, you can see me on at 9 o'clock tonight with Ian and the lad, and Ian, Jade, and Ricky on NE1 TV, talking about Newcastle United, and obviously how the fantastic donations have helped them get to the targets, and trying to get more now, and get the shop open and everything like that. So NE1 TV is what you need to look for on. I think I've retweeted the link out anyway, so if you're on Twitter, go and have a look at that, and then we'll see you at 9 o'clock. But we will be back on this channel tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this show. A little bit different, but really enjoyed it. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And take care. We'll see you tomorrow. All the best.
How are the lads?